Hi there, my name is Shamali. Today, I'm going to talk a bit about the origin of yoga and the definition of yoga. The commonly asked question is whether yoga is just the physical poses that we actually do on a yoga mat and in a studio. The answer is yoga is more than just the physical pose. So the term yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yuj, which means union. So yoga is the union of the mind, body, the spirit. Sanskrit is one of the ancient Indian languages. According to the father of yoga, Patanjali, there are 8 limbs of yoga. So as per the traditional definition, there are actually 8 parts to the yoga definition. First one, the yamas, or the ethical disciplines. There are 5. Ahimsa, which is non-violence, not just physically, but in actions, words, and thoughts. Second is satya, truthfulness. How do you stay honest and authentic to yourself, to everybody around you? Third is asteya, or non-stealing. How do you not take things that do not belong to you and respect that? Brahmacharya is the balance between the materialistic desires and the spiritual journey. Fifth is aparigraha, or non-possessiveness, where we're not holding on to things and not going after possessions. So those are the 5 ethical disciplines, also called the yamas. The second limb of yoga is the niyamas, or the personal disciplines. Again, there are 5 we talk about. First, saucha, or purity in thoughts, words, actions. Second, santosha, contentment, gratitude. Third, tapas, austerity. Fourth, swadhyaya, self-study of spiritual texts and deepening that knowledge. Fifth, the last but the most important, Ishvara Pranidhana, which means connecting with the divine and the source above us, which is guiding us through this flow of life. So out of the 8 limbs, we talked about the first 2, which are the qualities that help us live our life in harmony, not just with ourselves, but with everybody around us. So the first one was the yamas, the ethical disciplines. Second, niyamas, the personal moral disciplines. Now we'll talk about the third, which is asanas, or the physical poses. Patanjali describes this as Sthira Sukham Asanam. What does that mean? Sthiram, stability in a pose. Sukham, you're at ease. Asana is the physical pose. So what does that mean for us on the mat? We get to that stability and ease in a pose rather than pushing ourselves and forcing ourselves to fit into a pose. So that is the third limb. Fourth talks about pranayama. Prana is our vital life force, which is our breath, and ayama is the extension of our breath. So pranayama is the art of harnessing our breath for our holistic well-being. Then we talk about the 5th, which is Pratyahara, which means turning our senses inwards. The 6th, we talk about Dharana, focus and concentration. 7th, Dhyana, or meditation, where we are absorbed in self-awareness and introspection and self-reflection. Last, but also the most important and the North Star, is Samadhi, which is the ultimate blissful state, not just with ourselves, but also with everybody around us. So that is the traditional definition of yoga. It's the 8 limbs. To do a quick recap of the 8 limbs: Yamas, which are the ethical disciplines, and we talked about the 5 qualities. Second, Niyamas, which is the personal disciplines, and again we talked about 5 qualities. So Yamas and Niyamas are what keeps us off the mat in our practice and our values. Third is the asanas, or the physical poses. Sthira Sukham Asanam. Fourth, we talked about Pranayama. Fifth, Pratyahara, withdrawing our senses. Sixth, Dharana, focus, concentration. 7, talked about Dhyana, or meditation. 8 is Samadhi, which is the ultimate North Star, where we are in this enlightened, perfect harmony. So, with this definition, hopefully that gives you a little more insight that yoga is more than just the physical practice. It is an inward journey. The way I think about yoga is a philosophy of intentional, holistic living, where we are practicing not just the physical aspects, but also the mental inward journey and transformation that needs to happen. But again, they all go hand in hand. So that's why the 8 limbs of yoga combines off the mat, on the mat, physical, and the mental, emotional practice, helping us go inwards. I would love to hear your comments and your thoughts on how you practice these 8 limbs of yoga on and off the mat.